Hi guys, this is Matt. Welcome back to the shop, and I'm going to try to keep it quick today. We'll do a little update on what I've been up to. So over here we have the cases with all the bearings installed and everything ready to go. We're basically just waiting on the transmission and the crank to come back from Bryant Mototech. We have the cylinders all prepped and ready to go. They've been lapped. They've had the bores cleaned out real good with acetone. And the first one we'll be testing has the pipe manifold on it and the power valve installed. We also got the reed cage all assembled with the prototype reeds that we'll be testing. And everything's ready to go. Now, I can also give a quick update on what we plan on testing for the first round of everything. So my plan is to first obviously get the engine together and get the bike started and running and broken in. And I'm going to start off with the more conservative parts of all of the combinations available for right now. That just for safety and to see how it feels in its, quote unquote slowest form. So we have 3 cylinders to try. We have 3 heads to try. We have 2 different sets of reeds to try. We have crankcase stuffers versus no crankcase stuffers. We have 2 different 250 style pipes to try. Later on, we'll have a custom pipe made for this bike, but for now, we're going to start with the 250 pipes, and they have a corresponding exhaust manifold. We have 2 different carbs to try, but we're going to not mess with the second carb for now because the first carb I know will work well. We just have to get it tuned right, which will obviously take some time and effort. And then the ignition timing as well will vary with the different setups. We also have 2 different silencers. We have the stock one, which I'm going to take the restrictor out of the end of because according to my simulations, it's going to be too small with the restrictor in. And then I also have a R304 shorty to try. They're what I like on the 250s, either stock or an R304. So now I'll give a slightly more detailed description of what each of the different parts do. So the first cylinder is this one. This is the least aggressively ported one. It's only got a little bit changed from the stock MXZ cylinder. So the center port timing is changed from the MXZ. The intake port in the center here is significantly larger. Everything's cleaned up, and the sub-exhaust ports are also opened up a little bit. Now, moving on to the next most aggressive cylinder, which is this one. Same mods as this one. However, we also significantly widened the center exhaust port. We went about as wide as the power valve will allow, and that's obviously going to increase power, but how much short circuiting we'll get from the transfer ports, not totally sure. So that's why this is the next step in that evolution, and we'll see if it's a benefit or a drawback. And then the last one, we also re-aimed the transfer ports a little bit more rearwards in addition to that center port being wider. So I think that'll give us a good combination of different variables to play with for the first go around. Obviously, we can change it more down the road since we can kind of leapfrog each cylinder past each other if one's better than the other. Next up, we have cylinder heads. I have 2 different compression ratios and 2 different chamber shapes. So I have 2 heads that are 14:1. I have 1 head that's 13:1, and then the 2 14:1 heads. One is toroidal, one is not. They all have the same squish clearance. They all have the same squish band width. I'm just changing the chamber shape and the compression ratio for now. Obviously, again, we can change that more in the future. I have a lathe over there that we can modify them on if needed, but and we could obviously make more too. The reeds, these are a custom set of Boysen reeds. They have dual tensioners on them, so it's dual stage, dual tensioner, which allows them to change the stiffness of the pedals to try to get more bottom end without sacrificing top end, which is a nice change. And I have a second stiffness outer pedal to try if these ones are too stiff or not stiff. I can't remember which one's on it right now, but yeah. So 2 different sets of these. So that's good. Here are the crankcase stuffers. These will get pressed in the cases around the crank. They fill up some volume in the crankcase, and then obviously I can remove them if I want to increase the volume depending on what the bike likes more. They're made of a very gasoline resistant plastic called Ultem. It's kind of expensive, and it's also hard to print, so I had to outsource these. My printer couldn't do them, but they hopefully will work well and not dissolve and cause problems. But this is the most gasoline resistant 3D printable plastic available. So these will go in the cases. And let's see, for pipes, we have obviously the stock YZ400 pipe. We also have a DEP pipe down here on the shelf. I've had great success with both of those pipes on the 250s, and in simulation they look promising for the 400 as well. And obviously ignition timing you can change with the stator. Eventually I would like to get a programmable unit because the stock YZ advanced curve isn't the most ideal, but it'll work. And yeah, that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates.